You're tuned in to Oilers Nation every day with Tyler Yaremchuk, live every weekday on the Nation Network YouTube.
The intro is a liar. We're live on the Oilers Nation YouTube as the Oilers go for a 6th dub in a row. Let's get into it. I actually didn't explicitly say let's get into it with the lead, which is not what I usually do. But welcome into the show live from the Sports Closet studio. Check them out online, sportscloset.ca. Look at that sweet jacket. Maybe you want to be rocking that all spring as the Oilers go on a playoff run. Why not? You can pick up your own at sportscloset.ca. Yes, we are live on the Oilers Nation YouTube. The rebrand is complete. Our first show live on the Oilers Nation YouTube, and someone who goes by the handle "You're a Wizard, Connor." He says a 5-1 win tonight with Connor getting all the way to goal number 62. Twisted is in and says, time for the Oilers to have a statement game at home. Show the league we're to be feared. Sergeant Battle, he wants his parlay to hit. Manifest the triple 300 club. Sergeant Battle himself is Mr. 300. Kane, Draisaitl, McDavid, all within arm's reach of getting to 300 career goals. It's a Sherwood Ford Giant Game Day brought to you by our friends out in Sherwood Ford. You already know what makes them great, and part of it is their fantastic service department. We are ready to roll with a big game day show because it's a big game. So we got both Liam and Jay joining us today on the show. On home ice, divisional opponent. Tonight, I mean, by the end of tonight, the Oilers could be out of the race for the top spot in the division, honestly, but they could make, like Twisted said, a statement tonight, Jay, with a win.
Well, agreed. We play Vegas twice here, so if we can get off on a good step here and get a win, and then go down to Vegas and get another one, which we seem to be doing that kind of regularly now, it's a completely different race. Like, those are 2 4-point games in real short order.
Yeah, I was just about to take a sip of my coffee. So, Liam, your thoughts on the matchup?
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one, but I guess firstly, it's great to be on the Oilers Nation YouTube channel. A credit to everyone that worked hard enough for that we can all get our own YouTube channels now, so it's big for us. So hit subscribe if you're not already, and like the like button, of course. But for tonight's matchup, I don't know what it is about Vegas, but the Oilers have shown up in both games this season when they've played them, and Vegas have those injuries as well, right? Like Logan Thompson's not going to be there, Alec Martinez, Riley Smith. So I'm feeling pretty confident about the matchup, but it's obviously you can't underestimate what the Golden Knights can do to you, even if half their lineup is not going to be playing.
Yeah. Electronic Jordan touched on the YouTube. He said, look at that branded YouTube icon, segregated channels. I love it. Yeah, we even got in the bottom corner, whatever corner I'm supposed to point at, says Oilers Nation now instead of the Nation Network YouTube. So we're rolling. We are rolling. Make sure you hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Lance is in. Jay, you'll like this. He says, Oilers shutout tonight. Sorry, Gavin. Who knows? Maybe tonight is the night.
Why
Stuart
you apologizing
Skinner.
to Gavin? Gavin wants nothing more than a shutout.
Yeah, it would make him very happy, and he's got some money to play with as well after he hit that big parlay the other day. Stuart Skinner coming off a game where he allowed 3 goals on just 17 shots against the Arizona Coyotes. Not a great performance by any means, but like we had people in the chat the other day kind of ripping him post game. To me, when a goalie faces 17 shots, like that can be almost as difficult as a goalie who has to face 50 because you're largely just sitting there. Of the 17 shots, most of them were actually quality scoring chances. It's not like he faced 40 shots and was just getting peppered from the outside. Like the ones he faced were good looks. Like I didn't have a problem with Stuart Skinner at all against Arizona.
No, there's nothing bad about Skinner that night. I mean, you look at one of those goals was literally a tap-in on the line because the penalty kill couldn't do anything. The other one was like a backdoor pass where, was it Clayton Keller smacked it home? And I can't remember the other one, to be honest. But yeah, the 3 goals Arizona scored were honestly a credit to just good plays by Arizona, catching the Oilers off guard. And Skinner actually made like 2 or 3 good saves in that game that prevented the Oilers from losing it. He kept him in the game when he needed to. So I don't see how we can just sit here and put any blame on him, to be honest. The defensive work just needs to be better in front of him.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
Arizona played hard. Like they were just buzzing. Like they came and they brought their lunch pails and their hard hats to work, and they just tried to outskate and outwork us. And Skinner kept us in when we needed it. And you're right, Tyler. There's something to be said about like less shots could be equal to just high volume shots. Because you know what, having lots of time to think when you're playing sports isn't necessarily a good thing, you know?
No.
You get a breakaway, you got half the rink to skate to think about the 14 different options you're going to try. If you're Connor McDavid, if you're me, it's one option, but still I'm stressing out about it.
Get it deep.
You know, sometimes time isn't a good thing. You just want to like let the muscle memory kind of take over, you know, and your training take over. So I agree with your statement there.
Yeah. One thing that is working in the Oilers' favor, at least when you look at the trends in this hockey game, is they've played the Vegas Golden Knights very, very well this season. 2 wins. One of them came on the second of back-to-backs when we were in Vegas for the Nation Vacation. Shout out to AMA Travel. And the other one early in the season with a Connor McDavid overtime winner. McDavid and Draisaitl in their careers against the Vegas Golden Knights have combined for 40 points in 17 games. So the two of them, you know, they do pretty well head-to-head. Against the Vegas Golden Knights. McDavid just has the 1 goal in the 2 games against Vegas, but that win when we were there was really a product of like depth scoring and things like that. Like remember, it was Janmark revenge game, right? Who got the scoring going in that game. You'll probably need a little bit of that tonight. I mean, the depth has been solid for the Oilers over the last little bit, and in a divisional game where the opponent is rolling at the level the Golden Knights kind of are, even though they're banged up, you're going to need everybody chipping in here. This probably can't just be a 97-29 show tonight.
No, and I mean, the Matthias Janmark revenge game is something that's going to come up again. He has 5 of his 7 goals, I think, against his former team. So head over to Betway and see what you can find over there. But yeah, you need your depth scoring to show up tonight. But to be honest, it really has, and I don't think it should be a worry for the Oilers at all when they're right at the moment. Like everyone's contributing in a positive way, like offensively from the blue line and the offensive forward group as well. So I'm expecting just another strong performance all around, to be honest. I'd be curious. I'm assuming they'll go 11-7, right? Since they did last game. Do we know?
Yeah. Not confirmed, but I wouldn't be surprised. Like, Gregor had this yesterday after the skate. I could see them just keeping Shore out and going 11-7 again. Home ice, easy to get better matchups for guys like McDavid and Draisaitl, especially when you have that open slot down low. I think, you know, if you go 11-7, you might even see a little bit of Nuge dropping down to that Cost and Janmark line because we know the 3 of them work well together. And maybe the Oilers just run the 5 forwards up top like we know Jay Woodcroft likes to do. And I don't hate the idea of just keeping Philip Broberg in the lineup either. I think he's largely been fine, and there's nothing wrong with that. 11-7, Jay, would that get a thumbs up from you?
I mean, I'm never opposed to it, especially you know, because we got to keep Broberg going. So I'm not opposed for it, but you know, recently, you know, I'm getting fonder and fonder of Devin Shore. So if he's able to play, maybe you know you want to see him in. Like there's the soft, you know, heart in me kind of wouldn't mind seeing Devin Shore in there thinking about our Germans. But once again, we got to keep Broberg going. Also, you know, if Vinny is still trying to like play beyond his game and do make those kind of mistakes, then you have Broberg there to insert and insulate. All we want from Vinny is just that simple, steady game that he started with us the first 10 games, and he's been doing it, you know, relatively regularly. But just the odd time, I think he's trying to, you know, show what he could do in junior at the NHL level and try to do something a little bit maybe outside of his reach, even though his reach is massive given his height. But yeah, so it's a good insurance policy, and it keeps Broberg going at, unfortunately, the expense of Devin Shore. But he still might be sick. He still might be feeling up to speed. Right? We don't know.
Riley is in the chat, says, man, we got to win this. We could really do ourselves some favors by finishing first in the division. He then equates playing the Kraken versus the Kings. He equates that to going up against a Nerf gun or an M16. So an interesting comparison there. Darcy asks, who's in net for Vegas tonight? Believe it's going to be Jonathan Quick for the Vegas Golden Knights. He's appeared in he's had 6 starts in his time with the Vegas Golden Knights since being acquired from Columbus after he was set aside by the LA Kings. And listen, he got off to a good start with the Vegas Golden Knights. He went 3-0 in those first 3, but his next 3 starts, a total of 12 goals allowed. One of those games where he had a save percentage down at .793. I know everyone loved to be like, oh, Jonathan Quick so fired up to stick it to the LA Kings, but I've made this point a couple of times. I don't think he's magically going to turn into a number 1 goalie again at any point. Mike McKenna had the line of, if there was a stat called time spent on your ass, Jonathan Quick would lead the league in it. So I mean, he flops around. I think there's a chance the Oilers can pick this guy apart. The big story, though, for the Vegas Golden Knights tonight heading into this game, it's their injuries. And it's going to keep being a story for the Vegas Golden Knights as we head throughout the rest of the season. You see Logan Thompson here. February 9th, he goes down. He returns his first game back, March 23rd against the Calgary Flames. Doesn't make it through an entire game. McKenna was speculating again because we had him on Friday. Maybe it was his hip, and it looked like that was the area he was kind of holding on to as he went off the ice. So Thompson goes back to Vegas, not playing. Riley Smith goes back to Vegas. He's got an injury as well. Alec Martinez, for personal reasons, is out. This is a Vegas team where I don't like, they're just so beat up that I don't love their depth right now. They're missing Martinez, Thompson, Smith, and Mark Stone. And if we want to talk about their lineup heading into this hockey game, top line, Eichel, Barbashev, Jonathan Marchessault. Okay, that trio is solid.
Mhm.
That's a good top line. Nicholas Waugh with Phil Kessel and Chandler Stevenson. Okay, that's not bad. William Karlsson with Paul Cotter and Pavel Dorofeyev. I mean, two of those guys you wouldn't have heard of a couple of months ago. The fourth line, Mike Amadio, Teddy Bluger, and Brett Howden. When I compare Vegas, and I did this actually in a piece I wrote on the site, when I compare Vegas to Edmonton and LA, they're clearly third. They have question marks between the pipes, and I don't like this forward group either, honestly. Liam, am I missing something here? Are you with me?
No, I'm with you. Like that bottom six, really. I think the casual fan would probably only know Willie Karlsson,
Yeah.
right? So they obviously have some game breakers in there, like Jack Eichel is a fantastic player. Jonathan Marchessault has been defining the odds his entire career, so you can't rule him out. Chandler Stevenson was an all-star somehow this season, but he was there. So they've got some guys who can do it. But yeah, when you compare it to what the Oilers lineup has been doing, and even the LA Kings too, like you said, just to compare it to the Pacific, it doesn't seem like they have that offensive juice, and you can see right there, 3.82 compared to the Oilers' 4.6 goals per game since the trade deadline. They're a little bit better defensively, but I'd be curious to see those numbers with Jonathan Quick. Like Jonathan Quick has the same save percentage as Jack Campbell this season. The Oilers should absolutely light up Jonathan Quick tonight. So 100% hitting the over for this game.
The blue line for the Vegas Golden Knights, Hague, Pietrangelo, McNabb, Theodore, Hutton, and Whitecloud. So actually a decent blue line. Fully expect either Pietrangelo or Theodore to be, I mean, those two guys might play a combined 50 minutes tonight when you consider how much McDavid and Draisaitl could be on the ice. But Jay, what do you think about the Golden Knights and being a potential playoff opponent for the Oilers? Would you prefer them over in LA?
I do like how we match up against them over LA right now. Obviously, you see their goals per game in that stat sheet since the traded line is scary in terms of goals against being below 2. But Liam, I
Yes?
hope the Oilers do not share your mentality about the Vegas Golden Knights tonight, because we can sit here and shit on their lineup, but they have been winning hockey games. So something
True.
is working. Either they're being well coached or they're just clicking and they're gelled, even though there's a bunch of, like, I think I follow the league. There's like 5 names I don't even recognize there that are in that lineup. But I don't think we can take them for granted. And I still don't. And I know, Tyler, you're a quick hater, but there's still, he can still put together a game here and there, right? And so he's been stinky, but he can bounce back. So like I just think we cannot take them for granted. That's why when you see the bets, kind of the route I went in terms of not trying to do some like juicy pre-built bet with an over, like this could be a low-scoring 1-goal game, just because I think Vegas works hard. Because clearly, based on the names that we see in that roster that aren't that recognizable, they must be doing something good. So they must be outworking the other team. So we have to be prepared. We played a hard-working Arizona Coyotes, although they didn't have the same level of talent as Vegas does, even though Vegas has a bit of a depleted roster. And also, we have to respect their blue line a little bit. Martinez is out, but the blue line is still not bad, especially in comparison to us. So I think we have our work cut out for us tonight. I am very positive on this, but I don't think it's going to be as easy as the two of you are thinking it's going to be.
I don't think
it's
blue
gonna be
line is
easy at
the
all.
reason. Yeah, I think the blue line is the reason to be doubtful of anything, I suppose. Like their blue line is strong, but for goaltending, like Calgary put up 6 against them, against Jonathan Quick. So I'm confident the Oilers offense can capitalize on that, especially with the way McDavid, he's getting to that mix 70 range, mix 60 I almost said, but I just don't believe in Jonathan Quick. And if we're gonna come on the show almost every single game day and be like, Jack Campbell sucks, then Jonathan Quick deserves that too.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But you know, Jonathan Quick has Jonathan Quick pedigree, and Jack Campbell has Jack Campbell pedigree. So two completely different beasts. So every once in a while, the old lion still can go out and get the kill, which I don't even know what was a saying, but just came to mind because I'm watching 1923 and there's a bunch of safari in it. But anyways, I digress. So it just never rule out the old guy here and there. If he has a good day, you know, when you're an old guy, it was a good day. Then you have bad days where everything hurts. Well, if he has a good day, then you know you have to be worried still.
You know what, Jay? It's fitting that you're.
I'm cautious on this one. Like this one, I'm thinking I was debating on my bets about going just on the under, because But once again, like who knows? I could be completely wrong, but I just feel like we just can't take this team for granted.
OP, our guy joining live, he says, isn't Quick save percentage the same as Jack Campbell's? He's 37. This is a cliff, and I'm with you. We are here to hate on Jonathan Quick, even if Jay doesn't want us to. Here's another thing working in the Oilers' favor. You know, for a while there, we were like, man, the Oilers have not been that good on home ice this season. Well, son of a gun, they are turning it around. Since January 1st, this Oilers team is second in the league in home points percentage, 11-2-4 in their 17 home games since the calendar flipped over. And as of late, it has been a heater at Rogers Place for the Oilers. In the month of March, it's a win over Arizona, win over San Jose. They beat Dallas and Ottawa and Winnipeg and Toronto. That is, by my count, 6 straight home victories for the Edmonton Oilers, and even the games they lost on home ice in the month of February against Boston, that was a really good hockey game. They beat Philly, and then it was 2 OTLs to Detroit and the New York Rangers. So they've picked up at least a point in 95% of their home games since the beginning of February as well. This team is starting to get rolling on home ice, and that is a massive, call it a key to victory down the stretch and into the playoffs for our friends at Sherwood Ford. The way they've been playing at home when they drive their F-150s to the rink, it's been working out well. It's huge. Like having that, being a team where your opponent rolls into Rogers Place and is like, shit, we are getting the best of the Oilers tonight, and this crowd's going to be fueling McDavid and Draisaitl. I think that is like absolutely massive as we head into the postseason, Liam.
Yeah, it's been something that just hasn't, quite frankly, been there for the majority of the season for the Oilers. They've been way better on the road, but yeah, the last few games at home, they've put on. I know the score against San Jose was closer than it should have been, and Arizona, but the San Jose game, they absolutely dominated them, and essentially James Reimer kept San Jose in the game. So yeah, it's a perfect time. They've had some big wins too, so Rogers Place is feeling a little bit different nowadays, so it's exciting. It's nothing to do with the wave, though.
Good point. Yeah, rocking at home ice. Since, again, just because I have the numbers in front of me, since January 1st on home ice, the Oilers outshooting their opponents by about 5.5 shots per game, outscoring them on average 4.18 to 2.94. So a pretty decent gap there as well. 11-2-4 in their last 17 on home ice. The Vegas Golden Knights, when they've been on the road in that span, they're actually a pretty good road team. Top 10 in the NHL, 9-4-3 since January 1st. So they pick up a lot of points, a couple games above 500. A big one tonight for the standings in the Pacific Division, as we touched on, Aaron. I think we have the way the standings look right now. Edmonton 6 points back of Vegas, same number of games played, just 2 points back of LA. LA does have a game in hand. Edmonton 4 points up on the Seattle Kraken. Seattle has a game in hand as well, and it is a busy night around the NHL. It's a busy day. There's meaningful hockey on right now as we're streaming. So let's take a look at the AMA Travel Out of Town scoreboard. When hockey season's done, you're going to want to get out of town. You're going to want to be maybe celebrating an Oilers Stanley Cup with a nice vacation. Our friends at AMA Travel can hook you up. Seattle, Nashville, Kraken have a 1-0 lead 5 minutes into that hockey game. That's a big one for the Oilers. Winnipeg is in LA. That means either the Oilers could gain some ground on the LA Kings with a Winnipeg win, or their magic number could drop with an LA win, but I think we're rooting for a Winnipeg Jets victory. Yeah, go Jets in that one. San Jose is in Calgary this afternoon as well, so even more afternoon hockey. And then, of course, later tonight, 8 o'clock Mountain Time, it is the Oilers taking on the Vegas Golden Knights. But a busy night on the out-of-town scoreboard here. There is a lot to watch. So rooting for Winnipeg. Seattle, Nashville, probably rooting for Nashville in that one just to create a bit more of a buffer between the Oilers and the Kraken. But another big thing is just that the Oilers hold the tiebreakers. I know I've harped on that a lot on the show, but that could really come into play down the stretch here. So big game for the Edmonton Oilers. Let's give our keys to victory for our friends at Sherwood Ford, the Giant. Jay, what's your key to victory tonight against the Vegas Golden Knights?
I'm just going to repeat what I said when I was trying to give you guys some wisdom. Do not take these guys for granted. Do not take the fact that Jonathan Quick is in net for granted. We need to go and outwork these guys because clearly they're doing something to keep winning. So, got to outwork them. Just do not stoop to their level and outwork them. And we did it. We did it a little bit against San Jose. We did a little bit against Arizona. So we're showing those signs. Like, we got to be shot out of a cannon. We have to treat this as if we are playing the leader of the league that we want to take down, and we want to outplay them. So get to work, boys.
Liam, key to victory?
I'll go with, I think they've got to have a better start to the game tonight than they've had in the last few. They've managed to obviously end out on top of things, but against Vegas, not to underestimate them, they are obviously a good team, and they will probably come out hard to start with, but they have Jonathan Quick in goal, so if you can get on top of him early, I feel like that's a massive advantage for you, and just take it over. Just bury the 37-year-old and make sure you wish he went to retirement early.
Make him wish he was still in Ohio. We never had
Mike Smith. Just think about this. Mike Smith was older than 37 when he started with us.
But he never had an .882 save percentage in a season.
He struggled, though. He had his struggles.
Sure.
And the old boy found his way. The old boy found his way. So
sure.
I do miss Mike Smith this season.
I would take Mike Smith this season.
Can you imagine the Oilers cap with Mike Smith this year at like $2 million again and Stuart Skinner at $750K? Man, that'd be nice. That would be a nice little chunk of change to have. Speaking of chunks of change, let's talk about some betting for tonight's hockey game. The Oilers, big time favorites in this hockey game. Minus 182 on the money line. Vegas comes in at plus 150. The Oilers on the puck line are just plus 110. That is not very juicy. I don't like this at all. Why aren't they giving the Golden Knights more respect, says the guy.
I know, they're the division leaders. They're giving them no respect. I don't like. I get it pissed me off when I saw the lines today. It pissed me off because this should be a game where the Oilers probably money line are maybe 1.8, like slight favorites. Like, we're playing a division leader. But and I refuse. I won't go puck line tonight. I think it's a one-goal game. Woo! Look at those units.
I think it could be a tight one as well. So, yeah, Jay, you were catching some heat in the chat. Everyone was like, oh, if Jay says bet the under, everyone take the over. Don't listen to Jay. But don't look now. One, we are all plus money since we started doing the Betway Game Day Big Bets. So that's a bit of a flex as well. If you just tailed every bet we did on the show for the last 20 games here, you'd be sitting at just north of 13 units as a collective. So that's good. Jay, you're staying away from the puck line. You're not even betting Oilers money line. You're going with a little Nuge prop.
Well, because I said I didn't like the lines on puck line or money line, and so I was just hunting. So I was debating the under, but I didn't bet it. Everyone in the chat, because I still just in case it's the Jonathan Quick you think shows up, I bailed from it. But I think it could be an under game, but I'm not willing to put my money on it. So I was hunting. So it was between Nuge power play point, which I think we're going to get some power plays, and there's a high likelihood Nuge will get a point, or I was going to do the Boosh shot prop, which also some people will probably throw hate at me for betting on Boosh. But I'm sticking with Nuge power play point, the fact that it's plus money, 2.05. That, to me, is juicy enough for tonight's game.
Liam, what do you got here?
I'm going with the money line, the over, and Connor McDavid 2+ points. I mean, Oilers typically just hit the over every single night. It's actually gone 5 of 6 for Vegas recently, the over. So I quite like this one, plus 200. And to try and climb back up and get close to you guys. I think this one will do the trick.
Yeah, I need to create some separation between myself and you two here. So I'm going with a nice, juicy plus 250 prop. McDavid and Hyman to each get 4+ shots. Zach Hyman, early in the season, was the shot prop king. He slowed down a little bit. He had 3 last game, but for the game before that, I think he can get to 4 again against the Vegas Golden Knights. And Connor McDavid, this guy loves shooting the puck. 7 shots in back-to-back games for McDavid. He's hit this mark in 3 of his last 5 as well. McDavid and Hyman to each pick up 4 shots tonight, plus 250. I think there is some decent value there. So there's our game day big bets brought to you by Betway 19+. Please play responsibly. A lot of people are rattled because Gavin on Twitter, again, he's a big betting guy. He said he's betting on an Eichel goal tonight. I will not be doing that. I cannot back Jack Eichel. And Electronic Jordan says he doesn't like my bets tonight. It's tough for both in the same game. Hyman has been quiet lately, but 2 games ago, they did both accomplish it. So why not? And Les has given us some shade because we aren't betting on either McDavid, Dry, or Kane, or all of them to hit 300 goals tonight. But that would be a very
not juicy enough. It's not juicy enough. I looked at it, and
really?
That's not juicy enough, and you can't bet it together. So that's why I didn't do it.
Yeah.
Just so you know, I'm always
props are
just for
yeah.
McDavid goal. Yeah, they're not worth it.
Yeah.
No.
Unless you're betting them 2+ goals like I did last game, and hit that at 4-1. Thank you very much.
You did. You got an Ekholm. Like you're on a nice little run here as of late. You've pulled yourself out from the depths of this competition.
I just need time. I just need time. We started this betting when the Oilers went on a bit of a slide, and I was big game hunting, and there was no big game to get, I guess. So now that they're starting to heat up, now it's we're gelling right now. We're gelling, and the unit size is accumulating. It's very nice to see.
Fair enough. Oilers and Golden Knights tonight. Again, Skinner and Quick are the expected goalies for the Oilers lineup. We went through it earlier in the show. If you missed it, not 100% sure what they're doing, but it does sound like 11-7 is a possibility with Devin Shore staying out and Philip Broberg sliding into the lineup. Puck drop tonight just after 8 o'clock. It's the Oilers who are 41-23-8 on the season. 20-12-5 now on home ice. That home record really turned around in the last little bit against a Vegas team that has 23 wins on the road, that is tied for the most in the entire Western Conference and is tied for 3rd in the entire NHL. So a good home team against a good road team, a 4-point swing with 10 games to go in the regular season. I don't think neither of you are going to the game tonight, right?
No, not me.
No,
should be rocking in there.
Germans took a lot out of me.
You have a date with Chris Chalmers tonight, don't you?
Yeah, we're going to do some virtual golf and watch the game. It's going to be nice.
Love that. I love that for you. My beer league team is facing elimination tonight, so that's the big game we should be talking about is me and Coombsy trying to keep our season alive. But it should be a playoff-like atmosphere down at Rogers Place tonight. Man, if Edmonton wins and we get like a good day of LA losing too, like we're going to be waking up tomorrow in a pretty good mood when you look at the Pacific Division standings. So let's hope that is the case. Shout out to everyone who hopped in on the Oilers Nation YouTube chat as well. I know we need to get in on the intro and fix that bad boy up. But we'll be back again Monday at noon Mountain Time with our 3 big things, and we'll hopefully be talking about an Oilers team that is just within reach of top spot in the Pacific Division. Enjoy the game. Enjoy your Saturday, everybody. We'll talk on Monday.